Hey guys, this is Chels, and today I'm going to be reviewing something. It's a TV show I just recently got into. It's called Once Upon a Time. I'm sure a lot of you guys know what that show is because it's been around since 2011, I think. And yeah, but I've just been recently getting into it. So I'm going to review about how I got into it and how it's really become one of my favorite shows ever. Let's see. I don't know how long this video is gonna be. It'll probably be like maybe 20 minutes or so, maybe less, depending on how much I have to talk about. Um, but yeah. Okay, so let's see. So I knew about the show, but I didn't ever watch an episode. And but I was on YouTube. It was like a month ago, I think, or a couple months ago, and I was searching up just couples from TV shows, and I stumbled upon Emma and Hook, who's one of the best couples I've ever seen on a TV show. Also, I like Rumpelstiltskin and Belle. I think they're adorable. Um, but yeah, so I was recently looking up, yeah, couples, and I watched Emma and Hook scenes, even though I've never seen the show before, and I was watching their chemistry. It's so, like, oh my god. I was just watching it, and I was so fascinated by the chemistry. It was just amazing. Um, and yeah, and then I was talking to my friend on Skype, and I was telling him yeah, have you ever seen the show Once Upon a Time? And and then he told me, he's yeah, that's one of my favorite shows. And and I was yeah, I've never seen an episode. And he's you need to go watch it. And then finally I decided to. But actually, funny story, and this is really dumb of me because I've never done it before. But I I skipped the entire first season at first, and I watched episode I watched the episode where Hook comes in. The guy Colin O'Donoghue who plays Hook, because I just wanted to see Hook and Emma. But then I told my friend that, and he's "Why would you do that? Why would you skip an entire? You're just that's just not right. You're skipping an entire story, and you don't know what's going on." And I'm I know, I don't know why I did it, and now I regret doing it. But now I've watched the entire first season, so I know what all the characters are like and what is going on now. I'm on episode 11 now of season 2. So I was so dumb. I've never done that before in a TV show. Um, so yeah, that was kind of weird of me, but it definitely learned my lesson on not to watch a season that I don't even know what the characters are about and what the storyline's about, and just wanting to see a couple on TV. So yeah. But anyways, I started watching the entire first season on Netflix, and thank God for Netflix, right? They have every season of that show on there, except for season 5, which is airing right now, but I'm not watching that, of course, because I'm a newbie. I'm just starting to watch it. So, um, but yeah, I'm just in love with the show so much, and in love with the characters, and in love with the storylines, and how they're reverting back to reality, and to what into the fairy tale world. But now, since they kind of the magic's back and everything, then I don't want to give away too much, because people who haven't seen the show probably don't want to know what's going to go on. But the actors in the show are incredibly talented. I didn't even know who any of these actors were. Actually, I know who Jennifer Goodwin was, but that was pretty much it. I didn't know who anybody else was. And yeah, I started watching interviews and of everybody, and they all seem so nice in person. And oh my god, and I have to say, I'm a big fan of Robert Carlyle. He is incredible. I don't even know what I could say about him. Um, he's just become one of my favorite actors now. Um, yeah, I don't know. I just love his character, and the way he his I don't even know. I can't even explain it because I'm not an actor, but just the way he brings his role out in the show, Rumpelstiltskin, the the dark one, and then the regular one, and then the one who became before was with his son and everything, and he played like 3 roles in one. I was like, geez, how do you do that? But and then now now I'm like in love with Rumpelstiltskin's voice on the show, where he's just Danny, and I can't even do it as good as him. But my friend, the one that told me about it, he can do a perfect impression of Rumpelstiltskin, and yeah, every time he does it, I laugh because he just does it so good. So like, yeah, it's just so funny. But oh my god, I'm just so giddy right now because I just wish it didn't take me this long to get into this show. I mean, I knew about it, I did. I just never sat down and watched an episode because I was into so many other ones, you know, like Pretty Little Liars, Vampire Diaries, the originals. I had so many other ones, and I just thought that if I got into another one, my brain would explode. So, but it hasn't, obviously. I guess it's not, you know, it's never not wrong to get into too many TV shows, but you don't want, you know, your brain to just be with TV shows. It has to be with other things in life, obviously. But yeah, so that's that. And I don't know what else I can say. I mean, I don't really have a favorite episode. I mean, because they're all great, so I can't really say exactly. But I guess I'd have to say right now, so far, season 2 premiere that came, or that I watched, and Rumpelstiltskin brought the magic back into the world, like I said. And like, you know, him and Belle reuniting, and it was such an amazing premiere to me. It was a premiere to me because I know it obviously premiered on TV years ago, but that's how I look at it. And yeah, and I don't know if I'm gonna buy the seasons on DVD. I might, maybe in the future, but for right now, I'm just gonna leave it to watch on Netflix. So, but yeah. Oh yeah, and also, let's see. Yeah, like I said, I'm really liking. I really like am like researching the actors. You know, just kind of seeing like how they are in real life. And I was like watching an interview or listening to like an audio interview of Robert Carlyle. Can't say his last name. And I had no idea he was Irish, by the way. Like, you know, in the show, he's doing like kind of like he's doing an Irish, like you can hear an accent in his voice, but like it's not like, you know, like really thick. But then in real life, when you hear him, I'm like, whoa, it's like really thick. Oh yeah, and I also have to say Jamie Doran, who played the huntsman in the first season, amazing. When I saw his name on the show, I was like, hey, that name looks familiar, and I'm like, oh yeah, he's in the 50 Shades of Grey. But yeah, so he was really good in that show. I was like, wow, I was really, really shocked. and also the guy who plays the Mad Hatter is incredible, Sebastian Stan. I'm trying to remember all the names because, you know, if I'm reviewing a show, I kind of should know what I'm like wanting to tell you guys the names and what the show's about. But yeah. But anyways, what I was saying was about Robert Carlyle. Sorry, I get distracted easily. And yeah, I was listening to an it was like an audio of him like talking about his life. It was like 23 minutes, and it was on YouTube. I was listening to it a couple nights ago, and he was like talking like about him and his father and everything, and I was like, wow, this is really like, I couldn't even, when I was listening to it, it was just so inspiring, and just, yeah, and that's why he's become, yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to find out how to say stuff. But yeah, he's one of my favorite actors now, so I just gotta say that. Anyways, let's see what else I can talk about. I think I've pretty much covered like everything, like the, you know, the storyline of the. I kind of said what this. I don't know if I exactly said what the storyline of the show was about, but I mean you can read it on IMDb, but it's just mostly about, like I said, fairy tale world, and the real world is like different stories, but they combine at the same time, and there's like different characters in the show that are like evil, and then that are like cool, nice, and there's this little boy who plays, his name is Henry in the show, and I think his name is Jared in real life, and I think he's like 15 now, because in the show he looked like he was like 10 or 11. So, yeah, I was like, oh yeah, he's probably has to be like, yeah, like in his teenage years now, or yeah, like 16 or something. But yeah, and also it was just, yeah, the first season, wow, I didn't realize how dramatic it was. Like I thought it was just gonna be like comedy, but it's like comedy slash drama, and that's what I like. I like comedy drama, so it was really good. Let's see, what else do I have to say about it. Oh yeah, well, I guess if you want to know what my favorite Disney character is, it would be Maleficent. That's actually, let me revert that. That's my favorite villain. My favorite villain is Maleficent. My favorite Disney character would have to be, oh man, I have like, I love Beauty and the Beast, so I would have to say Belle, but I also like Aurora, so between those two, I guess. Yeah. But I've just always liked Belle. She's very, very strong, and always, even in, I just actually, funny enough, I actually just recently watched Beauty and the Beast, because me and my friend, she was over here, and she wanted to watch it, and I was like, I haven't seen that movie in forever, and I just remember it's always been one of my favorite Disney movies. So yeah. And I'm always singing, like on karaoke, I'm always singing to the song Beauty and the Beast, or Tale as Old as Time, and it's just such a beautiful song. Yeah, I never get tired of listening to it. And I'm also very excited for the live action version of Beauty and the Beast starring Emma Watson. That'll be really good, I think. She really looks like her. But actually, the girl who plays Belle in Once Upon a Time really looks like her too. I think her name is Emily D. Raven. I think that's her name. I think that's how you pronounce it. But yeah. Anyways, it's almost becoming 13 minutes into this video, so I think I'm going to stop here, but I just wanted to tell you guys how much I love this show, and how I got into this new show and everything. So, oh, and you probably noticed my Maleficent poster is up there, because, like I said, she's my favorite Disney villain, and I know she's in the show. I think she's in like the first season, but I think she becomes like, she wears her dark outfits, her dark outfit, and she's like in the third or fourth, I think. So yeah, and I saw the movie Maleficent. Obviously, it's amazing, and I have a T-shirt of Maleficent, that's how much I love her. So oh yeah, and I'm really excited to see when I get there. I'm really excited to see the Wicked Witch. I think her name is Zelena, I was kind of surprised that was the name. I thought it would be, the Wicked Witch of the West, but her name is Zelena, and Rebecca Mader plays her. Like I said, I just know these names because I was reading up on them. So I guess that's what's good. If I'm reviewing a show, like I said, I have to know the names, and yeah. But anyways, I hope you guys like this review. It's my first TV show review, actually. I've done movies before, but this is my first TV review. So, hope you guys like it, and go watch the show if you haven't. Go check it out on Netflix or anywhere else, because it is really a good show. It's really incredible. So, thanks. Bye.